Hello, and welcome to the archives. This week, as much as I'd like to get down to doing another one about how to play Netrunner, still working through the details of that in my head. And besides that, the last data pack in the Flashpoint cycle has come out, and I want to talk about the cards. So we're going to do that. We're going to dive right into the last data pack, which is Quorum. So let's get right into it and take a look. Here we have the first card. And this is the card that has a lot of people going, oh no! I've seen a lot of talk over on Jinteki.net about people saying Netrunner is over, Netrunner is dead, this card is killing it. You may as well not even run ice as a corp because of this card, etc., etc. And I will agree this card is broken. I've had a look at it. So let's look at it together. It's called, I believe, Cipher. It's got a weird S with a bit of punctuation attached to it underneath the comma thing. I'm not sure what that special character is called, but I believe it's Cipher. It is a unique hardware console. 5 credits to install. It gives +2 memory unit. And once per turn, when you encounter a piece of ice, you may reduce your maximum hand size by 1 until the beginning of your next turn. If you do, the strength of that ice is lowered to 0 for the remainder of the encounter. Limit 1 console per player. 1 influence and our card. Now, yeah, see, this sort of thing, you could install a parasite on, say, a 15 or 10 strength piece of ice. You could install a parasite, you could run on it. When you hit that one, you could use this ability, if you haven't already, reduce your maximum hand size by 1, which usually means you're going to trash a card. But not always. I wonder, if you are reducing your maximum hand size, because you don't have to discard until the end of the turn. So yeah, you wouldn't even need to discard a card then and there. You'd only, because you're not actually taking brain damage, you're just reducing your maximum hand size. So yeah, you could just go and say, I reduce my maximum hand size by 1. The strength 10 piece of ice drops to 0, and Parasite trashes it. And for only 1 influence on this, it is... it's broken. I will agree to that. This card is kind of broken. I don't know how much I like it. I mean, as a runner, yeah, this looks good. But as a corp, I'm like, this is giving a lot of quite problematic advantage, maybe. I'm not a game designer, I don't know for sure. But it looks broken as heck. So, that's Cipher. Let's bank on to the next one here and have a look. Here we have Sunya. And it's got another little, an umlaut or something over the U. Sunya. It is an icebreaker killer. 3 credits to install. 1 memory unit cost. 1 strength. 3 influence. Pretty hefty influence. When an encounter in which you use Sunya to break all the subroutines on that piece of ice ends, place 1 power counter on Sunya. Sunya has 1 strength for each power counter on it. So you can't raise the strength of this card except by breaking all subroutines on a piece of ice. So unless it's strength 0 or strength 1, if they're only running like strength 2 ice, unless you're lowering the strength of that ice before you break it, Sunya might not work too well. 2 credits to break a sentry subroutine. Open yourself to the universe. And it's got a samurai-looking dude holding a sword, standing in the fog bank. Or, wait, no, it's looking like they're unraveling. Or maybe raveling, not unraveling, but raveling. Which means, coming together, I think. I don't think that's a real word. But anyways. Yeah. There's another card like this. I can't remember if it was a Shaper or a Criminal that you put power counters on it after you've broken all subroutines on it. I kind of like the concept behind it, because it's basically that it just gets more powerful the more you use it. So I like that idea. I may have to poke around with it here sometime in the future. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Recon Drone, a criminal card. 1 credit to install, hardware, 3 influence, pretty hefty influence, X credits and trash, prevent X damage from a card currently being accessed. So you have one of these installed. This will just prevent damage. If you hit a card that's accessing, like a piece of ice, well, no, you're not. You don't access it. You don't access ice. You encounter it. So this would be for like any type of ambush. This would help you through. Flavor text from Con. A little birdie told me. And it's got a cute little mechanical bird on a light post. Yeah, this would be good, especially up against Jinteki or some Hospiroid that has some fun ambush ice. Yeah, I can dig this. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Tapeworm. I think that's how it's pronounced, because there's no E to say tapeworm, even though it's basically a programmed tapeworm. 0 credits to install, 1 memory unit cost, 2 influence, 0 strength on this program, because it's a virus. Install only if you made a successful run on a central server this term. When your turn begins, gain 1 for every 5 credits in the corp's credit pool. Trash tapeworm, or tapeworm, if the corp purges virus counters. Oh. So this is one of those things you can, if you get it installed, depending on how many credits they have, you just start gaining credits. But the Smart Corp will, if they have the ability, will purge virus counters pretty quick. PDQ, as they say. Yeah. Oh, pardon me. I can dig this one. I'm not sure it'll see much use, but it's definitely a good card. All right, on to the next. Here we have Tracker. It is a program, 0 credits to install, 2 memory unit cost. Pretty hefty memory unit cost here. No strength, and 2 influence. When your turn begins, choose a server. A click and 2 credits, make a run on the chosen server, prevent the first subroutine that would resolve this run from resolving. Another flavor text by Khan. Everything leaves a ripple in cyberspace. If you can find the ripples, nothing can hide. Which is, very fitting, because she's a skip tracer. Now this is an interesting one. A click and 2 credits, make a run on the chosen server, prevent the first subroutine that would resolve this run from resolving. If they've only got 1 piece of ice up with 1 subroutine, you spend a click, 2 credits, you make a run on it, and it prevents it from resolving. You don't even have to break it. It just doesn't resolve. Huh. But it would also be, it could also be used on ice that you don't have the, huh. There's other ways you could use this because you can still break subroutines and let one fire, and this would prevent that one from firing. I'm sure there's something just on the tip of my brain that I can see you could use this for, but I can't put it into words. So I'm gonna have to think about that. But this card looks interesting. I like the idea behind it. All right, on to the next. Here we have Aaron Marin, a unique resource connection. 2 credits to install, 2 influence. Whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, place 2 power counters on Aaron Marin. Hosted power counter, remove a tag and draw a card. Flavor text, you want to do business in Los Pistoleros turf? Then you gotta deal with me. And that would be the dude here in the middle, looking all badass. That would be him. That looks good. Get him out early enough, and he starts getting power counters when you steal agendas or the corp scores them, which gives you tag removal and card draw. I like it. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Encore, a Shaper card, starring none other than Smoke. 0 credits to play an event, 4 influence. That is hefty. That pretty much means it's going to be stuck in Shapers. Play only if you made a successful run on R&D, HQ, and Archives this turn. Take an additional turn after this one. Remove Encore from the game instead of trashing it. So this basically means you can have 8 clicks in a row. 4 clicks and 4 clicks. Or more if you have stuff in play that will guarantee you more than 4 clicks in a turn. Because you make a successful run on R&D, HQ, and Archives, and then you play this for your 4th click, and it gives you another turn after this one. Now, one thing I thought about when I first saw this was that you could go and make 3 runs, play Encore, and if you had it, you could play 3 notorieties because you've already made a run on R&D, HQ, and Archives. But it says you can only play it if you make a successful run on R&D, HQ, and Archives this turn. You're taking an additional turn after this one. So it's a completely new turn. So you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to make 3 more runs in order to play a notoriety. Which I really like. I like the notoriety. It's a fun card. Still, this gives you a lot of time to have some fun with the corp. I like it. I like this one a lot. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Fox, the Icebreaker Killer. 5 credits to install, 1 memory unit cost, 1 strength, 2 influence. Break 1 sentry subroutine for 1 credit. X credits plus X strength for the remainder of this run. Use this ability only by spending at least 1 credit from a stealth card. Faster than the eye can follow. And this is the 3rd breaker for Smoke. Because she's already got a code gate breaker and a barrier breaker in Blackstone and Houdini. And now there's this one. Yeah, I dig this. I dig this card. This one is going into my Smoke deck that I have yet to play, but I've been tweaking it and poking at it. This one's definitely going in there. Indeed. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Peace in Our Time. An event priority. 1 credit to play, 1 influence, neutral card. Play only as your first click and only if the corp scored no agendas during his or her last turn. Gain 10 credits. The corp gains 5 credits. You cannot initiate any runs this turn. Now, one click and 1 credit to give you 10 credits. That's a good gain. You're still giving the corp 5 credits and preventing yourself from making any runs. Do that early enough in the game and it could be good. It could be very, very good. I kind of like it. I'm digging it. And you get the all these web windows up going peace and news stories and all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, now we're going to go into the next card, which is a Hospiroid agenda. Sensor net activation. You see some Bioroids here taking out the trash and whatnot. It's a security agenda. 3 credits to advance, 1 agenda point. Place 1 agenda counter on sensor net activation when you score it. Hosted agenda counter. Res a Bioroid ignoring all costs. When the turn ends, de-res that Bioroid. I like it. It lets you pop up Bioroids in unexpected places, especially heavily costly ones. So yeah, I dig it. I like this one. It's a nice little agenda. Alright, on to the next. Here we have a card that I know some people have been waiting for. A terminal transaction operation, violet level clearance. 5 credits to play. After you resolve this operation, end your action phase. Gain 8 credits and draw 4 cards. It required a hexadecimal code along with biometrics delivered by way of a BMI. 3 influence, Hospiroid, and it has a trash cost. And I can see why. Because a click and 5 credits to gain 8. So you're basically a click, spending a click to gain 3 credits and draw 4 cards. That's insane. But only if you're playing it as your last option. If you play it as your first click, that'd just be stupid because then you'd be done. But maybe some people might want to do that. Alrighty, on to the next. Oh, we got some Jinteki ice. What do we got here? Chiyashi. 12 res cost. That is insane. But it's a 12 res cost, 8 strength barrier. That whenever the runner breaks a subroutine on Chiyashi, while there is an AI installed, trash the top 2 cards of the runner's stack. Do to net damage, and end the run subroutines. Tori Hanzo. We've seen Tori Hanzo before. She's on one of the cards, I believe, from the core set. Ice is not meant to kill, just slow or cripple the runner. Killing is my job. 2 influence, and it's got some floaty cubes. Looks kind of Tetrisy. 12 res cost barrier. That is insane. But there's a few decks I could throw this in. One in particular I could throw this in and still be able to res it. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, on to the next. Here we have Psychokinesis, and who I believe is Caprice Nisset here in the artwork. 1 credit operation, 1 credit to play. Operation Terminal. After you resolve this operation, end your action phase. 2 influence, and you look at the top 5 cards of R&D. If any of those cards are agendas, assets, or upgrades, you may install one of those cards in a remote server. Doesn't say a new remote server, just a remote server. So I kind of like this, because it lets you look at the top 5 cards in R&D and go, I want this one. I can dig it. This may be going in one of my Jinteki decks. I think. Onward to the next card, we have Net Quarantine, an NBN card. 4 credit to advance, 2 agenda points. Security agenda. The runner's base link strength is reduced to 0 during the first trace each turn. Ooh, I like it. Especially for some runners that like to slap down link strength and boost that link strength up. Whenever the runner increases his or her link strength by spending credits, gain 1 credit for every 2 credits spent. So not only does it for the first trace drop their link strength to 0, but whenever they increase it, you gain a credit for every 2 credits they spend. That is a nice little agenda. I like that agenda a lot. Okay, on to the next. Herald, Ice Code Gate. 2 credit res, 1 strength, 2 influence. If Herald is accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it, because we've got a trash cost on it too, of 1. When the runner accesses Herald, he or she encounters it. Ignore this ability if the runner accessed Herald from archives. The corp gains 2 credits. The corp may pay up to 2 credits to place that number of advancement tokens on a card that can be advanced. So if the runner can't break this, it just straight up gives you 2 credits, and then you can put 2 advancement tokens on a card that can be advanced. Good for fast advanced decks, definitely. But with only 1 strength for a code gate, it's one of them things that would be like super easy to break. Yeah. Still, I kind of like it. Alright, on to the next. Here we have a Wayland piece of ice. Veritas. I think this was done by the same artist that did the Fairchild, because it looks very similar. Veritas, Security Tracer. 4 res cost, 2 strength, 3 influence. The corp gains 2 credits. The runner loses 2 credits. Trace 2 if successful, give the runner a tag. Flavor text of the truth hurts. It usually does. It usually does. This isn't a bad card. 3 subroutines with 2 strength. I think that's why a lot of Wayland Ice that we've seen have had a lot of multiple subroutines on it. Because of Chief Slee, who came out. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, on to the next. Here we have Brian Stinson, an upgrade character. Unique, 2 res cost, 5 trash cost, 3 influence. While the runner has fewer than 6 credits, Brian Stinson gains spend a click to play a transaction operation from archives, ignoring all costs. Remove that transaction from the game instead of trashing it. Flavor text of my job: I provide legal exculpation and sign everything. It pays very well. I've heard rumors that this particular character is maybe based loosely off Neil Patrick Harris, his character from How I Met Your Mother, possibly, which I think is Barney Stinson. And you see in the background it's got the symbol for the Titan Transnational Bank, which plays heavily in the Flashpoint cycle. I like it. because this gives you like double the play value of any transaction operation, because you can play it and it goes to archives, and if the runner gets less than 6 credits, you can go click to play it again and remove it from the game. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, on to the next. This is a card I saw and I was very interested in. Nassix. 2 credits to install or to res. It's an asset. Gain 1 credit when your turn begins. So a lot like Pad Campaign. 2 credits to res and 1 when your turn begins. Whenever you gain credits through a card ability, other than from Nassix, you may spend up to 2 credits to place that many power counters on Nassix. Then you can spend a click and trash to gain 2 credits for each power counter on Nassix. It is trash cost of 4 and no influence. So it's like a pad campaign, but it's a pad campaign that, as long as you're not using Nassix and you're using other cards to gain credits through other card abilities, every time you do that, you can go and throw up to 2 power counters on Nassix. And then, at any point in time, you can spend a click and trash and gain 2 credits for every power counter. So, it's like a pad campaign that lets you almost... It's like a pad campaign that almost works like Shell Corp, or possibly Thomas Haas, because you can put power counters on him and gain 2 credits for every power counter on it. So it kind of works in a similar way. Still, I like it. I like Nassix. It's pulling double duty. Good on you, Nassix. Alright, on to the next. Here we have Macrophage. A 3 credit res, 7 strength, neutral code gate tracer with some creepy virusy looking art. 4 subroutines. Trace 4 if successful, purge virus counters. Trace 3 if successful, trash a virus. Trace 2 if successful, remove a virus in the heap from the game. Trace 1 if successful, end the run. Flavor text of one way to get rid of a virus is to get a nastier virus. Hence the Macrophage. Yeah, this card looks nice. With only 3 to res, strength of 7, this could do some damage. I mean, just trace 4 purging virus counters. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like it. This one may have to go in some decks of mine, because it would be very handy. Throwing 3 of these in a Jinteki deck would be super handy, because it would let me purge virus counters, trash viruses, possibly remove viruses in the heap from the game, and end the run. Very, very cool. Okay. On to the next and last card. Another piece of ice that's neutral. 7 credit res, 3 strength. So the opposite of the last one, which was 3 res cost and 7 strength. It is a sentry. 3 subroutines of the runner trashes 1 of his or her installed cards. That's 3 times. And the flavor text of guilty, 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 and you see 3 judgmental looking beings here with circles around their hands going guilty, guilty, guilty. The tribunal. Not sure I would use this one, but I could see it being handy. Definitely. Very nice. Very nice. All right. And that's it for the last data pack in the Flashpoint cycle, Quorum. Uh, Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me run through some of these cards. The next episode of the archives, I'm going to try and get my head around how to play Netrunner. I think I will deal just from the runner side this time, and then I'll do another video on how to play from the corp side, kind of explaining things a little better. Although I'm not sure. Maybe I should go into talking about deck building first. I'll think things over, and we'll see what happens the next time. But thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. And throw a comment in the comment section. What did you think of the Quorum, the last data pack, in the Flashpoint cycle? What do you think of Cypher? Is it the end of Netrunner as we know it? I don't think it is. It's just one of those cards that happens to be like super powerful, and if you use it, you're probably a horrible person. I'm kidding. You're not. You can use whatever card you want. So yes, thank you all so much for watching, and you all do all that good stuff. Throw those comments in the comment section. I would love to get a discussion going with some people. I can talk about Netrunner for days. And until next time, my friends, remember, keep running.